Good evening, friends. Let us continue learning our root words. Yesterday we learned neo in Evo, which means new. We discussed that it is related to our Sanskrit root nava, right? Here we have one more root that is nov, nava, nav, which is again in Sanskrit, which is called nava. Same root is is being used here. Now, now means new. Novel is something new, right? What is renovate? Renovate is to make it new again. Re plus new. To make it new again. That is renovation. Renovation of any building or any department or any construction, etc. Novice. 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 Who is a new guy who doesn't have any previous training or experience in any specific field or activity. That person is a novice. Is a beginner. Any beginner in a new religious order or such, or in any skill. The complete novice in tennis, in gardening, etc. In ancient Rome, novice was actually an imported slave, a newly imported slave who has to be trained yet. So, because he was new, this term was used for slaves in ancient Rome. Novel. Novel we had discussed, new and not resembling something former. Original. Novel. Novel means original and striking. Is novel techniques. Novel techniques in cricket. That means he's invented new techniques, novel techniques of the director, movie director, etc. Novelty. Novelty is you would have seen this shops which sell novelties. Yes. So novelty is generally and often a cute or a silly little object that you might put on a display shelf in your house. That is a novelty. A small collection or small new collection. That is novelty. Novel. Novel. The novels that we read, right? Novel, one meaning of novel is new and not something anything else. Another meaning of novel is the novels, the books that we read. It is coming from Latin, which in Italian, earlier people used to write small short stories. And each of those short stories, they used to call them as novella. In literary, the literary meaning is because it is new, it is a new short story. Slowly, with centuries, the word has become novel in English. Innovation. Innovation. Innovation is something new, right? A new idea, a new device, new method, etc. Introduction of new ideas. That is innovation. Creating something new. NOV. No. Creating uh, any new machine or uh, any new scientific development. These are all innovations. Supernova. Supernova is the explosion of a star that makes it become extremely bright. Bright. Okay, this is an astronomical word which we don't generally use. But why it is new? Because after the explosion only people notice that the star, because of explosion, it suddenly became new. Till then, though it was originally not new, with the explosion, people notice it. So that's why it is new. Nova, supernova, nova are more or less the same. They are related to new in that way. Next, pause. POS. Pause is from Latin. It means to put in place. Pause is to put or to place, etc. When you expose a film, you place it out in the light, right? So that is pause. It is in Latin. The verb is pono, which is equal to pause. Okay. When you expose a film, you put it in the light. When you compose a song, compose, pause, come plus pause. You put some notes together. Right. Compose a song, you put the notes among the Sarigam Padanisa, you take some notes and you put them in some order, and that's how the song will be composed. So compose is also putting together. When you oppose something, you are putting yourself against that thing. You are not aligned with that thing. You are putting yourself against something. Up plus pose. Right. When you impose something, you put upon something. Im plus pose. Impose. A CEO may impose a new manager on one of the company's functions. Okay. A state or a government may impose new taxes on luxury items. Impose. Imposing is putting upon to establish or apply a charge or penalty in a forceful or harmful way. That is imposing. What is a self-imposed deadline? Self-imposed deadline is deadline that you impose on yourself. That is impose. Juxtapose. Juxtapose. Juxtapose is again pause is put. Juxtapose is to put side by side, to place side by side. You won't notice the difference between the original and the duplicate unless you juxtapose them. Unless you put them next to each other and verify them. Juxta means near in Latin. Juxtapose is near put. So putting both the things together and identifying them, which one is what. Juxtaposing, we generally do it for examination, right? Even for designers or video clips or whatever, or analysts. If a politician has said two different things on two different days, so what analysts do, they take both the clips, both the video clips, and juxtapose them and analyze them. Advertisements you see juxtapose before and after images to show a thrilling transformation. Someone has become slim, some has grown hair, etc., etc. That is juxtaposing, putting next to each other. Juxtaposing of two X-ray reports can help doctors to distinguish whether the treatment worked or not, whether there is improvement or not, etc. Transpose, trans plus pose. Trans is across. Pose is move to change the position or two things. That is transpose. Transpose is to change the position of order of two things, moving one from one place to another place. In my phone number, two digits have been transferred while you copy. What does that mean? That two digits, they were written in the other order. Okay, right. Transposing two digits can be disastrous, right? In a phone number. But transposing two letters in a word, it doesn't matter much, right? You still be able to recognize the word. Two letters in a unless it is a name and these are the letters are initials, it might become a disaster. But otherwise, for all the normal words, in two letters are transposed, you don't notice, or it will not create lot of trouble. You will notice, but it will not create lot of trouble. Okay. Superimpose. Here also notice the pause, POS. Superimpose is to put or place one thing over something else. That is superimposition. Superimposition. It is used in movies also. Movies also. They take mirror shots and then they superimpose. Superimpose the shots to give the ghost effect. Right. Then pose. Pose. We all know what is posing. Posing is using a certain attitude or posing yourself in some way. That is placing yourself in some way. That is pose. This is also related to the same root word. Now let's go to 10. 10, 10, 10, 10. This is okay. 10. The root 10. It is coming from Latin. It means hold on to. A tenant. Who is a tenant? is the holder of an apartment or a place or a property, etc. He is not the owner. He's the tenant. He is temporarily holding it. Lieutenant. 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 We call them lieutenant. Lieutenant governor. Who's the lieutenant governor? He is he is the one who is in position of the governor when necessary. Lieutenant commander. That means when the original commander is not there, he is the one who will take that position. That is lieutenant. Tenure. 10 is holding, right? 10 is holding on to. What is tenure? The tenure is the amount of time that a person holds a job or an office or a title, etc. That is the tenure. The tenure is for 4 years, 6 years, whatever. 30 years tenure as a chairman, as a CEO, etc. That is tenure. Next, tenacious. Tenacious is stubborn or determined in clinging to something, in holding to something. Okay, 10 is hold, tenacious. Tenacious is holding something, determined in holding something, keeping a firm hold. Right. He was known as a tenacious reporter who would stay with a story for months, risking his life and health, etc. Success in most fields requires a tenacious spirit and drive to achieve. Agreed. Tenable. That is tenacious. Tenacious is holding. Ten is holding. Holding for long. Holding and determined in holding. That is tenacious. Tenable. Capable of being held or defended or reasonable. Tenable. Tenable means holdable. It was originally used in a physical sense. For example, to refer to a city that an army was trying to hold militarily against an enemy force. So, but nowadays, tenable is used for ideas and theories also. If you hold an opinion, but there is evidence which contradicts it, your opinion is no longer tenable. Okay, any idea which someone is holding, and if there is evidence against that, that idea is no longer tenable. Earlier, people used to believe that leeches can cure whooping cough when they suck the blood. People used to believe. But now that there is evidence against that, there is evidence that no such thing is there. That belief has become untenable now. Ten is about holding. Tenet. Tenet is a widely held principle or belief. Ten is about holding. Tenet is about widely held principle or belief, especially held by someone uh, within the same profession or a group, etc. It was soon obvious that the new owners didn't share the tenets that the company's founders had held to all those years. So the principles which the company's owners have created, the newcomers, they are not adhering to them. They are not adhering to those tenets. Tenets are often ideals, but also often statements of faith. Tenets of Islam, tenets of Hinduism, the tenets of Western democracy, or tenets of scientific method, etc., etc. That is tenet. Ten means hold. Discuss this word. Ten is hold. Next is mono. Mono is coming from Greek, which means monos, which Greek word monos, which means along or single. What is a monorail? Monorail is a railroad that has only one rail. Monocle. Monocle is an old-fashioned eyeglass. Nowadays, we have spectacles. Earlier days, people used to use monocles. Monocle is a old-fashioned eyeglass. Monotonous voice. Monotonous voice or monotonous ringtone. And monotonous means seems to have only one tone. Only one tone. It's kind of boring. It seems the same. That is monotonous. Monopoly. You'd have heard this word. Monopoly. Monopoly puts all ownership in a single company. Monopoly is not good for the market. Right? Search engine monopolistic behavior of Google. That means there is complete monopoly, complete domination of Google in search engine. That is monopoly. If only one company holds the domination in the market, the products are not available from any other company. That is called monopoly. Monogamous. Gamus is about marriage that we had discussed. Gamus, monogamous, being married to one person or having one mate at a time. Geese, swans, and most other birds, they are monogamous and they mate for life. Indian law, Indian marriages Indian marriage is by law monogamous. People are permitted to have only one spouse at any time. There are cultures, obviously, that allow polygamy also. Some Islamic countries still permit polygamy. So, yes, some African tribes. That is monogamy, polygamy, polyandry. Polyandry is in which a woman can have more than one husband. Andra. Andra is male. What is android? Android is also derived from this andr, human like robot. That is android. Andr. Andr. There are a lot of words related to andr. We'll take them up later. Now let's continue with mono. Monoculture. Monoculture is cultivation of a single crop. Cult. Cult we had discussed. Cult is about caring. Culture. Culture is caring about something. Monoculture. Cultivation of single crop to the exclusion of other uses of land. That is monoculture. And monoculture is not good because when you use the land for the same kind of crop, then um, the quality of land will go for a toss. Crop rotation is very important because if you use the land for the same crop, then the soil loses its quality and slowly the productivity will fall. So crop rotation is the other thing that a lot of farmers follow. They put one crop for 6 months, another crop for another 6 months, so that the soil recovers. Monolithic. Next is monolithic. Monolithic means lith. Lith is stone. Paleolithic, Neolithic, we had discussed. Monolithic, monolithic temple. That means a temple which is made out of a single large stone. Temple, you see these structures, monolithic structures. The normal structures we construct with the bricks and stones, right? But monolithic, out of a big hill, they carve out the temple. That is called a monolithic temple. It is used in other places also. Monolithic, we use it for huge, featureless, often rigid thing made up of material with no joints or seams. Monolithic, monolithic temples that there are a lot of temples in India also, where the entire temple would be carved out of a single stone only. Monotheism. Monotheism is worshipping of a single god versus polytheism. Hinduism, Christianity, and Islam, these are monotheisms. Whereas Greek, Roman, Hindu, Indian cultures, these are all polytheistic. They worship multiple gods. Right, polytheism versus monotheism. Then let's go to the next word, uni. Uni is coming from Latin, which means one. Uniform. Uniform is a single design worn by everyone. United group has one single opinion or a single unit. Unit also means one, right? Unitard. Unitard is a one piece combination, unitard versus leotard. This is a word used in fashion. Leotard is close fitting one piece uh, garment weighed by dancers and all. Close fitting garments, leotards and unitards. Unicameral, unicameral and bicameral. We have Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, right? Single legislature, but we have both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. These are called bicamerals. Camera means chamber. We have two different houses. Those are bicameral. In our states, some states are unicameral, some states are bicameral. That means there will be legislative council and legislative assembly also. Whereas some are unicameral. Okay, our country is bicameral. Similarly, unilateral, done by one person or party. It is one sided only, affecting one side of the body also. Unilateral. Then unison means complete agreement, perfect agreement, together at the same time. Unison, which is it is used in music also. Coincidence in pitch or sound or notes. That is unison. Union is also the same thing. United or being together. That is becoming one. Trade union is all the traders they form into one union. Un. Un is one, alone, single. Unitarian. Unitarian is a person who believes that God is one. That is Unitarian. Unitarian belief. Next is term. Termin. This is coming from Latin, which means to limit or to bound or put limits to. Terminus. Terminus is the limit or boundary. What is a term? A term, that's a second term, first term, mid term, etc. It goes on for a given amount of time and then it stops, it ends. That is a term. To terminate a sentence or to terminate a meeting, to terminate employment means to end it, bring to an end. That is to terminate. Terminal. Terminal is relating to an end or limit. Terminal illness means illness that is almost a dying kind of illness that might lead to death. Terminal. Terminal railway station. That means the train will stop there. That is terminal. A terminal disease ends in death. Terminally bored is funny way of using. That means you are bored to death. Terminal degree, train terminal or bus terminal, computer terminal. So originally computer terminal was originally the endpoint of a line connecting to a central computer. Okay, that is terminal. Indeterminate, determine. Determine is also term. It is related to boundary. You determine what are the boundaries. What exactly is it? You establish what exactly are the dimensions. That is how you determine. That means what exactly, if you are determining a shape, what exactly is the boundary? What exactly are the limits? Determine. Okay. Same indeterminate. In is related to opposite. Indeterminate is we cannot determine clearly. We don't know what is the extent, what is the character, etc. etc. When you determine something, you decide what it is, which means you put limits or boundaries to its identity. Whatever is indeterminate means it doesn't have limits. We cannot identify the limits or boundaries. A painting of indeterminate origins. That means we don't know who has done the paintings. Negotiations are left in an indeterminate state. That means there is no clue, there is no clarity, nothing has been determined. Interminable. Interminable means there is no end. Term means it has got some boundary, some end. Interminable means there is no end. Interminable please. Yes, there is no end. Keep The requests kept on coming. That is interminable. Terminus, bus terminus, end of a travel route. That is terminus. Extreme point, the tip, that is called terminus. In the word Latin, in Roman Empire, terminus was a boundary stone, and all boundary stones had a minor god associated with them, whose name was Terminus. Terminus was kind of keeper of the peace. Since wherever there was a terminus, there could be no arguments about where your property ended and your neighbor's property began. That is terminus in old Roman. Next get to the word geo. Geo is coming from Greek, which means earth. Geography. Geography is the science that deals with features of the earth's surface. Who are geologists, or what is geology? Geologists study rocks and soil to learn about Earth's history and resources. Right, that is geology, studying about rocks and soil. What is geocentric? Or what exactly is this geometry? Geometry was originally about measuring portions of Earth's surface. Okay, originally geometry was that. Now we use it as a mathematical discipline. Originally was geometry was about determining portions of the Earth's surface. Probably it was about Egyptian farms after the flooding of the Nile River annually. Nile used to flood annually. So, what are the boundaries of the farms? Once the flooding was all done. Geometry was originally about meter. Meter is about measurement. METR. Geometry. Did I write it here? Let me write. Geometry is related to Earth that way. It is a maths discipline, but it is about measurement of Earth's surface. And probably it was related to define the areas of the farm which were actually flooded. Geocentric is relating to keeping Earth as the center versus heliocentric. Heliocentric is relating to sun as center. Helio is sun, right? Geophysics. Geophysics is physics about the Earth, which means the science that deals with the physical processes and phenomena occurring especially in the Earth and its vicinity. Geophysics degree, without a movement, it deals with things such as movement of Earth's crust and temperature of its interior. Another thing is geomagnetic field. What is geomagnetic field? It is believed, and in fact, it is true also. There's a big magnet within the Earth. That's so all the magnets or the compass they always align with the north south pole because of the geomagnetic field of the Earth. That is geomagnet. Geothermal. Geothermal. Some places in near Himalayas, they though Himalayas is so cold, there are some places around Himalayas. There are some water pools which give hot water. Okay, and they derive this heat from within the Earth's surface. This is geothermal energy. The core of the Earth, as you go deep, it will be very hot, right? These places they take that heat from within the Earth and heat the water. That is called geothermal. Natural heat produced inside the Earth. There are actually geothermal power plants also to convert this underground water or steam to electricity. Dharma, Therm, thermos. In Greek, it means hot. Okay, this is also related to volcanoes. Volcanoes, volcanoes are also some heat energy which in the earth, which volcano can erupt at any time. Geostationary. Geostationary orbit. This is with related to satellites. An orbit, the geostationary orbit is an orbit where a satellite remains in a fixed position about there. Okay, that is geostationary orbit. This is very important for our TVs, our radios, our weather photos, etc., etc. There are a lot of geostationary satellites orbiting around there, sent by multiple countries. That's a big startup business also now. Cool. Let us continue learning more words in our next session. Hope you understood these words. Good luck, guys. All the best. Bye bye.